Ну что же, будем продолжать сюжетку Кэти Рейн. В принципе, так говорю сюжетку, как будто тут что-то еще кроме есть. Кроме сюжетки. Мультиплеер. Ага. Вот. У нас там продолжается расследование. День третий уже должен наступить, а всего их вроде бы 5. Я не уверен, что я сегодня все до конца допройду, но тем не менее продолжим, насколько сможем. Так, собственно, мы закончили криминалистическую часть расследования, то есть у нас есть расшифрованное вот то изображение, которое было пересвечено.
A printed picture of the strange smoky lights. It appears to have been taken somewhere in Conwell Woods. Ugh, I feel strange just looking at them.
Так, потом карта. Собственно, справка по вот этому странному цветку, который там был на фотографии. Так, ну что же. И мы выяснили местоположение Уэйтса, сослуживца нашего деда, да, который может обладать какой-то довольно ценной информацией.
All right, I'm off. Peace outie.
Okie dokie. Good luck and see you later.
Так, сразу 3 новые локации появились. Вот. Я думаю, что сперва заглянем в заповедник. Благо там пока что немного всего будет, но уже кое-какую инфу получим. Также отдельно церковь и больница, где лежит Уэйтс.
Well, this is it. This is where the picture was taken. I'm not sure what I expected to find here. I need to clear my head. What the?
Why, hello there! You have laid eyes on this dapper fellow once before, haven't you?
Вот так сюрприз, да? Тот самый криповый мужик, которого вы видели во сне. Я бы точно запомнил жуткого лысого парня в гриме. Сомневаюсь, вы выглядите так, будто сбежали из цирка. Это уж точно не мое шоу. Так не думаю, мистер Чистюля, если не считать, что я видел ваше лицо на бутылке моющего средства.
I don't think so, Mr. Clean. Unless seeing your face on a bottle of detergent counts.
Always the joker, aren't you, Kathy?
Who are you? How do you know my name?
It is my calling to know people like you, those shackled by their past, yet yearning for change.
I feel strange. Am I dreaming?
It's the mending. I will try to facilitate.
You're not real. I'm lying asleep in my bed right now.
Focus, Kathy. Listen to the drowned girl.
You mean Lily? What about her?
She's the one who slipped away, filled with secrets. While she may be free in death, her cold, wet hands still trap many in painful ignorance.
What is this, Woodstock Poetry Slam? Mind speaking like a normal person?
I knew you wouldn't disappoint. I'm glad, given how much trouble I went through to be here. You see, my name was taken from me, so I claimed a color in its stead. The next time we meet, you'll know the exact hue of red. You're on the right path, Kathy. Follow your grandfather, and everything will work out in the end.
Wait, what? How did I get here? Am I going crazy? Am I turning into mom?
Жесть. Ну ладно, раз уж мы здесь, пойдем поговорим с бабулей, а потом вернемся туда.
Oh, hello, dear. Glad to see you again so soon.
Hi, Grandma. I just thought I'd drop by.
Sure, hon. Stay as long as you'd like.
Бабуля все чиферит.
There are a few things I need to ask you, Grandma.
Very well, dear.
Так, здесь нового ничего нет. Наверное, спросим про предметы.
Do you know anything about this flower, Grandma?
I can't say that I do. I remember seeing it growing in the woods, but I didn't think much of it at the time.
I don't want to show her that. What do you see in this picture, Grandma?
I have no idea, but it's quite an eerie display. What is it?
I'm trying to figure that out. I found the picture hidden in the attic.
Oh, come to think of it, the trees do look similar to the ones in Conwell Woods.
Yeah, it was taken somewhere in that area. I found out that the flower in the picture matches a rare local species.
Aren't you clever? Do let me know if you come across anything else.
Так, ну ладно, бабуля особо ничего не знает, поэтому,
See you
наверное,
later, Grams.
двинемся.
Take care, dear.
Двинем дальше.
Hello? Creepy bald guy. Guess no one's home. That wasn't here before.
Красный человек. Жуткий красный человек.
A bald man dressed in red. Oh, creepy.
Окей. Кто у нас тут такие рисуночки оставляет? Несложно догадаться.
Hey, is this shovel taken? Good enough for me.
Ну и цветок.
Looks like a specimen of the red scythe. It's endangered. I'm not going to take it without a really good reason.
Ладно. Не хочет сорвать, так оставим пока. Вот у нас теперь есть рисунок и лопата. Ладно, там пока все. Дальше двигаем. Ну куда? Куда? Я думаю, будем прям по уликам идти. Раз мы нашли рисунок, то нагрянем вот сюда. К главному местному художнику.
Oh, it's you again. Come on in.
No Nathan today?
Nah, haven't seen Nate all day. Probably out in the woods.
М-м.
That must be Lily. She seems very happy.
До этого мы не могли его рисунки
Is
осмотреть.
this how Nathan still sees himself? As a little boy? Looks like Nathan knows the strange red man. I need to talk to him about this.
Так, окей, ну, как минимум, какая-то наводка еще появилась. Так, рисунок она, видимо, не забирает себе. Соответственно, мы его не можем никому показывать. Но зато можем спрашивать про это дело.
I had a few more questions, Sue.
Shoot.
I don't need to ask her about that.
Окей. Не надо, так не надо.
Do you know who the Red Man is?
Oh, that's just Nate's imaginary friend. The red man has been around ever since my boy was little.
I see. So there's no actual person in town he could be referring to?
No way! According to Nathan, the red man hasn't changed in 30 years.
The Red Man actually exists. I met him in the forest.
What? That's crazy talk. Stop kidding around. I am not in the mood.
Нет, так мы никого не убедим. Ну тогда покажем ей лопату.
No reason to show her that. Do you know anything about this flower?
Sure. Smoked it a few times back in the day, before it was endangered and all.
Yeah? What was it like?
Similar to pot, but stronger and more unpredictable. Never touched
Осуждаем.
this stuff after I got pregnant with Lily.
All right. No reason to show her that. Sue, what do you see in this picture?
My God, that looks like one of Lily's paintings.
Wow, really? Can you describe it?
It was a nighttime scene, just like the photo, but the lights were floating above the lake. There was a pale hand reaching up from beneath the surface trying to touch them. The forest in the background was on fire, making the sky purple and red. There were probably other details too, but that's what I can remember.
Sounds captivating. Wish I could have seen it.
Да, серьезное описание. Но пока что нас никуда не ведет. Так, ну ладно, получается, здесь мы все исчерпали, получили еще одну
I think I'm
опцию.
gonna head off now.
Sure thing, little cat. Come back anytime.
Получили еще одну опцию диалоговую. Это очень полезно. Так, куда дальше? Полиция нам пока не понадобится, мы сами себе полиция. Так, наверное, церковь, там тоже можно будет поболтать, особо не продвинемся, но информацию получим.
Hello, Father.
Greetings, my child. I'm glad you decided to come here.
Yeah, but just so you know, I'm not here to join your church or anything.
Oh, I would never assume that.
Good. So, with that out of the way, I have some questions.
Anything you need. I'm Isaac Price.
Kathy Rain, but I'm guessing you figured that out already.
I did. Rumors spread quickly around here. So how can I be of service?
Do you know anything about what happened to my grandfather in 81?
It was the work of the devil, I'll say that much. Joseph was a kind man. He did not deserve such a fate. You heard my speech at the funeral, Kathy. I meant every word. He was a great man who did much good for this community.
Did you know him personally?
In a way, he and my father did charity work together. Joseph was around a lot when I was young. They collaborated on a few different projects for the homeless and for the troubled youth, among other things.
So my grandfather was a member of the church?
I wouldn't say that, no. He was a friend of the church, but he wasn't a religious man. He believed only in philanthropy. That being said, Joseph was the person who convinced me to become a priest.
Really?
Oh, yes. I was a teenager back then. Full of rebellion, every fiber of my being wanting to distance myself from my father. Joseph made me realize my sinful pride and showed me how I should follow my heart, regardless of what others might think. And for that, I'm eternally grateful.
Does the name Lily Myers mean anything to you?
It does. Before I was ordained, I was a substitute teacher in her high school.
Really? Did you know her personally?
We weren't close. I only knew her as much as a teacher would know any student.
All right, so how did she seem toward the end?
For one, she started skipping school a lot. And when she did show up, she was absent-minded and moody. She always looked depressed and hunched down like she had the whole world on her shoulders.
Any idea of what caused this change?
Not a clue. All I know is, when she returned from that last summer break, she was a whole different person.
Do you know anything about Lily Myers' art?
I saw a few pieces, gorgeous work, vibrant, surreal landscapes.
When was this?
Must have been mid-70s. The high school had open days with an art exhibition.
So, this was some time before she changed, right? You didn't see any of her later work?
No. By then, she started skipping art class completely, from what I heard.
Maybe she was afraid of what she might draw. I hear it was pretty twisted.
Could be. But alas, I suppose we will never know what was truly haunting her.
I'm doing my best to find out. I don't believe the story to be as clear-cut as everyone makes it out to be.
An unusual theory. How so?
People have taken a particular interest in her art. I think there's more to it.
I wouldn't read too much into it, my child. It happens to all dead artists with any talent to speak of.
What's your opinion on Charles Wade?
No opinion. He used to be a prominent figure around here, but he doesn't appear much in town these days.
Actually, he's in the community clinic right now, getting medical treatment.
Oh, I wonder if it's serious. Perhaps I should go talk to him. Even men like Charles Wade need a priest when they're nearing the end of the line.
Здорово, конечно. Ей сообщили приватную информацию по поводу того, где Чарльз Уэйт находится. Она ее просто сдает вот этому чуваку, которому она сама-то не особо доверяет. И спрашивается, а зачем она ему эту инфу сдает? Просто так проговорилась.
Do you know anyone who goes by the nickname Cocky?
I have no idea. Sorry.
Care to tell me the history of the church?
I'd be happy to. The story is a fascinating one. This church was founded by my father, William T. Price, in the 70s. Back then, he made his living as a traveling salesman and was driving through this area as he had done so many times before. However, this day was different. My father held dark thoughts in his mind. He was angry, thinking of evil deeds, even considering swerving off the road into a rock and ending it all. Then suddenly, divine intervention. 3 bright lights appeared. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, the sign of God. This epiphany was the moment my father had been waiting for. He sold all of his belongings and took me and my brother to live with him here, in Conwell Springs. Soon thereafter, he built this church and started gathering followers. They began to refer to him as Father Bill.
I take it that window up there resembles what he saw when he had this epiphany?
Indeed, the stained glass window depicts the Holy Trinity, as witnessed by my father.
Do you know exactly when or where this event took place?
Why do you ask?
Oh, just curious. It's a captivating story.
Well, it was the spring of 1971, but my father never told anyone where.
Okay, so what happened then?
People flocked to Father Bill. He started teaching, writing scripture. The church flourished and continued to grow all the way up until his sudden death in 1983. That's when I stepped in to take leadership of the church.
I take it that the church started declining after the death of Father Bill?
Yes, naturally so. With such a magnetic personality, he was irreplaceable. But I assure you, the church is still very much thriving.
Looks kinda empty to me.
It's not really our peak hours.
What's up with you handing out pamphlets at funerals then? Trying to reel people in at a weak moment?
I'm going to assume you meant no disrespect, child. I'm simply providing divine guidance when it's needed the most.
Ну и самый топовый вопрос дня.
This may sound strange, but have you heard of or seen a strange man dressed in red?
Only our Lord and Savior Jesus. Surely his rags were drenched in blood as he lay upon the cross.
That's not what I meant. I mean someone here, in Conwell Springs.
Are you joking? I haven't seen a person like that, no.
Ой, что-то мне подсказывает, что он нам врет.
Do you know what this key opens?
I'm afraid not, my child.
Do you recognize the men in this picture, Isaac?
Only your grandfather. And that's just because I was given a similar picture at the service the other day.
I don't need to show him that. I could, but I think I have more to gain from a subtle strategy. I'll keep it to myself for now, until I know more about this church.
Забавно, что дискетка с хакерскими утилитами у нас осталась с предыдущей главы. Такая просто невзначай осталась в инвентаре. Типа, где-то пригодится.
I don't need to show him that. Father, do you know anything about this flower?
No, my child, nothing at all.
Так, ладно.
I don't need to show him that.
Смеяться на слове лопатон не будет. Мясная фея. И тебе тоже. Ме.
That's all I need for now, Father.
May the Lord shine his light on you.
Играй тоже в эту штуку. Я особо ничем не заспойлерю сюжет, но это правда стоящая вещь. Прям очень интересная. И тут есть тайна. Так. Ну, кстати, есть ачивка, если можно... Короче, ачивка за то, что попытаешься зажигалкой воздействовать на Библию.
Huh, even I wouldn't stoop that low.
Да. Ну, короче, на этом месте тут много таких можно предлагать ей действий неадекватных и за них получать ачивки. Не, ну слушай, оскорбление было бы, если бы мы подожгли. Она же отказалась, она говорит, что она не будет так делать. Значит, и оскорбления не было. Хотя тут она много как оскорбляет чувства верующих, конечно. Хотя тут и церковь такая себе. Вроде бы христианская, а вроде бы и не совсем. С таким двойным донышком, я бы сказал. Так, ладно, поехали к нашему актеру театра и кино. Собственно, вот чем он и занимается. Его улыбочка, конечно, постоянная.
Yep, it's full of trash. Figure that.
Понятно. Ладно, болтаем.
We meet again, Mr. Homeless Guy.
Мистер бездомный чувак.
Homeless? That's the worst thing I ever heard of, and totally untrue.
So, what's up with the trash can? Digging for treasure?
Well, I'm just going through a rough patch. By the way, you owe me $10.
Nah, you agreed to 7.
You're busting my balls here.
Better get those balls checked out in this clinic then.
So cold. Like a stake through the heart.
What do they call you anyway?
Gober. Everyone calls me Gober.
All right. I'm Kathy.
Pleasure to meet you.
Очень забавно, что он вспомнил про то, что мы ему денег должны, и она все-таки ему отдала $7 за очень прикольную услугу. Так. Ладно. Сейчас он... Ну, любитель рассказывать удивительные истории. Как же не послушать еще одну?
So, what's your story anyway?
My story?
Yeah, don't all bums have a story?
For your information, this is all just a dry streak in my showbiz career.
Is that so? I don't recognize you at all.
I used to have more hair.
That I actually believe.
Come on, man. Frankie Gold is my stage name. Surely you must have heard of me.
Not really, no.
Oh, come on. I have starred in dozens of Hollywood movies. The Silence of the Lambert? Jacob's Bladder? The Usual Surprises? Natural Bald Killers?
Not ringing any bells.
Kids these days, no appreciation for quality cinema. Breaks my heart.
Отсылки такие к известным фильмам про психопатов, про всякие беды с башкой, молчание ягнят, лестница Якова, Jacob's Bladder. Это очень смешно. Прирожденные убийцы. Это вообще какая-то конченая хрень, которую я начал смотреть на первой же сцене, просто вырубил, удалил нафиг. Хотя, наверное, тоже культовая вещь, конечно. И что там еще четвертое было? Ну сейчас их в любом случае упомянет.
So, tell me about this acting career of yours.
What about it?
Так, ну да, молчание Лэмбс, да, молчание Ламберта. Можно было как-то обыграть более, чтобы более узнаваемым было. Мочевой пузырь Джейкоба. Обычные сюрпризы, да. Эти Usual Suspects, да. У нас их перевели как подозрительные лица. Фильм такой, детектив, прям таинственный. Прирожденные лысые убийцы. Ну, я все вот это смотрел, кроме последнего, но я имею в виду то, к чему это отсылается. Просто последний просто в самом начале скипнул.
Tell me about The Silence of Lambert.
Lawrence Lambert, a real estate agent, suddenly turns mute overnight. For weeks, he tries to communicate with customers using a self-invented sign language, only to realize that true love needs no communication at all. He marries his housekeeper, who only knows 2 words in English, yes and clean. In the end, Lawrence dies of a heart attack in the arms of his lovely wife, Consuelo Lambert Vasquez. Based on a true story.
Ну вот это надо запомнить. Первый сюжет. Это важно.
I'm not sure I want to know what Jacob's Bladder is about, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
Jacob's Bladder. The tragic story of Jacob Cobb, a schizophrenic man who forms an imaginary romantic relationship with his bladder. During long and joyful monologues on the can, he starts referring to his nether regions by the name of Jenny. Sadly, before Jacob has a chance to elope with his sweetheart, he gets committed to an asylum due to increasingly erratic behavior. After a big fight with his paramour, Jacob refuses to pee for a week, and he dies from a ruptured bladder.
Блин, какая кринжота просто. Надо ли говорить, что оригинальный фильм вообще не про это был, хотя и про шизофрению, но не про это. Не про романтические отношения.
Give me the rundown on The Usual Surprises.
A lighthearted comedy taking place during the surprise birthday party of 34-year-old Sid McBacon. The story is told from 8 different perspectives to keep the audience guessing who the protagonist actually is. The movie ends with the biggest surprise of them all. Sid suddenly dies of an epileptic seizure. I guess it's more of a dark comedy.
Кстати, тут получается Получается, все фильмы из 90-х, прям реально все, по-моему, в 90-х сняты. Ну, я имею в виду оригиналы, на которые идут отсылки.
Natural bald killers?
It's a dystopian vision of the future where people are valued by the quality of their hair. The protagonist, Eddie Zephyr, turns bald in high school. One day, he has simply had enough of all the teasing and the bullying, and he completely snaps and heads out on a scalping spree in search of the perfect head of hair. Eddie makes his way to Mexico for an illegal hair transplant. However, he has an adverse reaction to the anesthesia and he dies on the operating table.
Дичь. О, стикерама. Рад, что ты с нами. У меня есть друг, который прям тащится от инди-игр такого вот типа. Чуть ли не каждый вечер подобных пиксельных квестах зависает. Слушай, ну, я бы не сказал, что это прям инди-игруля. То есть тут сюжет очень хорошо прописан. Прям, не знаю. Ну, как сказать, не шедевр, хотя что вообще считать шедевром? То есть это как бы закос под квесты из 90-х, но при этом это даже нельзя назвать закосом. Это вполне как бы искренняя такая игра, искренний сюжет и очень качественно сделанный. Вот. Полно есть таких же закосов, но которые начинаешь играть. Я вот пытался играть в этот Тимблвид парк, или как он там называется, да. Это такая вообще душнота просто невозможная. Ну, как бы да, но это, понимаешь, это просто повтор стилистики старых квестов, вот, а все-таки именно сюжет и озвучка, как-то диалоги тут очень хорошо прописаны, музыка очень крутая, вот, прям очень хорошо все подчеркивает. Так, мы у нее спрашивали уже, почему в конце смерти.
Why do you always die at the end of your movies?
Typecasting.
Актерская амплуа, окей.
Oh, never mind.
Not the cultured type. I understand.
Еще и дерзит нам. Ладно.
I need to
Опросим его.
ask you a few questions.
Sounds serious. Ask away.
Сейчас мы его опросим быстренько. Может быть, он нам... Ну, вряд ли он нам, конечно, что-то полезное скажет. Нам для других целей немножко нужен.
Do you know what happened to Joseph Rain in 81?
I most certainly do.
Видишь?
What? Tell me.
Are you sure you want to know? Not everyone can handle the truth.
Oh, just spit it out.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Abducted by aliens.
I should have known better.
Oh, I saw it, man. A big, huge light. I was a bit drunk at the time, but I had my reasons. My wife had just left me, taking the dog, not to mention I was being conscripted for the war. But I'm telling you, those goddamn aliens took him and they experimented on him. And that's why he was so messed up when they put him back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop you there.
Open your mind, man.
Блин, тут в этой игре просто должна была быть отдельная сюжетная ветка, где либо ей снится сон, в котором она весь сюжет, всю суть своего расследования интерпретирует с точки зрения вот этого чувака, да, либо вообще нужно было за него поиграть, чтобы он как-то поучаствовал вот в этом бреде, который он сам нам рассказывает.
Do you know who Lily Myers was?
Yep, my dad was the one who found her floating in the lake.
Really? What can you tell me about her?
Ah, geez, not a lot. I mean, teenage girls, man, they're like their own species. Impossible to figure out. Not to mention how that entire family ain't, like, people-friendly.
Now that's an understatement. Nearly started brawling with Sue the first time I met her.
She could sure deal out a mean whooping, that lady.
Do you know who Charles Wade is?
Sure, he's been holed up in this clinic for the last couple of weeks.
You saw Charles Wade go in there?
Well, yeah, I just told you, man.
How did he look?
Okay, I guess. Still walking, at least.
Окей, это полезная инфа.
What do you know about Lily Myers' art?
Nothing but hearsay. People say it was pretty deranged.
Do you recognize the nickname Cocky?
Why, I used to call myself that back in Nam.
Back in now.
Oh, how I miss that marvelous youthful ego of mine.
Why do I even bother?
Так это он и есть, оказывается, да. С этим позывным.
What's your opinion on the Church of the Holy Trinity?
I'd say they're good people. Isaac the priest is, anyway. His dad, Father Bill, on the other hand, though, he and the people he had around him were into some weird shit.
What kind of weird shit?
I don't know, they were like a cult or something, with Billy Praise himself at the top. Really shifty bunch of folks. Isaac turned it all around when his dad kicked the bucket, made it a proper church.
Interesting. Do you know anyone else who was involved in the old church?
Not really, I tried to stay as far away from those people as possible. Ask Isaac about it, he's a friendly guy.
All right. I might do that.
Блин, тоже претензии к переводчикам. Блин. Конвелл Спрингс — бесплатная клиника. Блин, ну что это за бред? Я понимаю, что она комьюнити клиник, да, что там не нужно платить за услуги, но, блин, не бесплатная же. Какая-нибудь муниципальная клиника или как-то так. Что за... Хотя вроде перевод-то неплохой, но вот именно какие-то такие места, блин.
I don't need to ask him about that. I don't need to show him that.
Я всем буду лопату показывать, кто-то точно отзовется.
Do you know anything about this flower?
Ну давай.
It's red?
Enlightening.
Эта реакция топовая, конечно.
I don't need to show him that. Do you know what this is?
Chinese fireworks, of course. I grew up in Shanghai, I know what I'm talking about.
Не знаю, о чем говорю.
They used to call me Dong Pai, meaning round-eyed baldy. Those were some rough years. I miss the food, not to mention the women. Got 2 kids down there now, Maylin and little Ping.
Time to hit the off switch now, buddy.
That'd be one raggedy-ass bribery attempt.
Do you know what this key opens?
Your heart, mademoiselle?
Oh, brother. Do you recognize these men?
That's your granddad, right?
Yeah. What about the other 2?
No idea. I think my face blindness is acting up again.
Okay.
Так, ладно. Достаточно мы его попытали. А, можно ему, кстати, сигаретами угостить, нет?
Wanna smoke, buddy?
Nah, I got stage 2 lung cancer. I'm keeping it under control with a fruitarian diet.
Рак легких 2 степени, который он сдерживает фруктами. Чё за бред, чувак?
Okay, that's enough serious questions for now.
Alrighty.
Теперь переходим
Okay, I'm off.
к экшену.
Bye.
Собственно, нам нужно пробраться к Уэйтсу. Это будет непросто.
No point. I wouldn't even know what room to go to.
Да. Сперва узнать, где он лежит, собственно.
I can't read it from here. Excuse me, nurse? Hey, nurse!
Абонент, не абонент.
Yeah?
Somebody around here hates their job.
No shit. What do you want?
I'm here to see Charles Wade.
Never heard of him. Anything else?
Bullshit. I know he's here. Listen, it's okay. I'm a friend of the family.
No, you're not, and I said he's not here. Don't make me call security.
Окей, они это скрывают.
I need to get rid of her somehow.
То есть нам уже минимум 2 человека подтвердили. Один из них, он там за углом. Но второй это точно достоверно подтвердил, что он здесь.
A calendar from 1991. Guess they really liked that year.
Так, как от нее избавиться? Есть, конечно, одна задумка классная. Жестокая, но классно.
Hey, doofus.
Oh, hi.
So, how good an actor are you?
The best! The very best!
You know, that nurse in there, she said she loved you in all those movies. And that she always wished you'd give her a live performance.
I knew it. She always gave me these strange looks. I thought it was contempt, but her face must just be cramping up from shyness.
Yeah, that's definitely it. She'd love to see you act, I'm sure.
I'm gonna have to oblige. Which movie do you think she'd like the best?
Так, ну давайте. Хотя, блин, я не знаю, тут, по-моему, любой можно. Ну, допустим.
Probably The Silence of Lambert.
Oh, I'm gonna be loud.
Ну, погнали.
Oh, Consuelo, how I wish I could speak. I have so many things left to say. My chest, no! It can't be! Hold me!
Good idea, but it wouldn't match his symptoms.
Thank you. You've been a great audience.
Нет, значит будем другой. Ну, так я... А, ты, может, пропустил, да? Ты, может, чуть...
Wasn't really an electrifying performance. I'll have to intervene somehow.
Там, тут же все четыре фильма, которые там, из которых он знает, в которых есть его там амплуа, да, они все такие отсылки на реальные фильмы, да, Silence of the Lambert, Jacob's Bloodier, да, как раз мы обсуждали с тобой недавно. Там какой-то Usual Surprises или Unusual Surprises тоже, Usual Suspects. И эти Natural Bold Killers.
Hey, doofus.
Oh, hi!
Так, ладно, попробуем другое.
Hey, how about another show?
Sure? Any suggestions?
Так, ладно, будем дальше. Мочевой пузырь Джейкоба, это, конечно, блин, это топ. Так, ну, блин, я не знаю, какой из них верный, но будем...
Definitely Jacob's bladder.
I'm feeling the pressure.
Меня распирает. Надо все подряд пробовать. Он должен что-то про электричество начать говорить.
Oh, Jenny, everything is forgiven. You and me were like peas and carrots. I'm just so full of your love that I think I'm about to burst. Jenny, where did you go? Oh, I don't feel so good. Thank you. You've been a great audience.
Не, это явно не то было. Даже по диалогу ясно. Ну ладно, следующее
That
пока.
wasn't really an electrifying performance. I'll have to intervene somehow.
Блин, она даже подсказку дает, на самом деле. А подсказку, которую похерили в переводе. Сногсшибательное выступление. Она говорит, не самое electrifying performance. Да, ну как бы... Хотя как это вот сейчас сам думаешь, да, как бы ты вот это перевел бы? Типа, я бы так, наверное, перевел, что не сказать, что он там прям шокировал публику своим выступлением. Вот я бы так сделал. А то как-то сногсшибательно, это не очень так.
Hey, doofus.
Oh, hi.
Hey, how about another show?
Sure. Any suggestions?
Ну, давай третье.
How about The Usual Surprises?
Business as usual.
Business as usual.
I can't believe you guys did all this for me. You know, what's that smell? Bacon? Oh, Bobby, my head hurts. I'm seizing.
Nurse, he's seizing!
Oh shit!
Man, I feel like a total jackass. I'll have to make it up to the poor guy later.
Вот же коза вообще. Так бедолагу подставила. Так, ладно. Теперь узнаем, где... Ага, логин, пароль. Ну, поскольку мы их не знаем, сейчас вверх посмотрим, что там.
Employee of the month, Carlita Mendez. What a joke. It's that obnoxious nurse.
Карлита Мендес. Что у них? Логины такие же, как у нее в кампусе. Ну, для начала мы его так попробуем. Загрузимся с дискеты.
Crap. Looks like I have to figure out the username some other way.
Пароль дарующая. Повреждать, наверное, ничего не будем. Ладно, попробуем сами угадать. О. То есть реально логины такие же, как у нее в кампусе, да. Нам типа повезло. Так, как мы его будем искать?
Not now.
Не сейчас? Ну ладно. Не сейчас, так не сейчас. Не найдено. Окей. Так, а как он у нас записан сейчас? Wait, что я его wait все время называю? Вот он.
Gotcha.
Пациент успешно перенес инвазивную операцию на сердце и был переведен в это учреждение по его собственной просьбе. Первоначальный прогноз хороший, и пациент, скорее всего, полностью выздоровеет через 6-8 недель. 6B. Ну все, идем. Сейчас будем долго с ним разговаривать, но он нам много чего сообщит.
It's all right, Claude.
Understood, sir.
So, you managed to find me.
I did.
Well, let's get this over with then. How do you want your pictures? Shall I get some tubes to fill my face with? Will that suffice for your front page?
I'm no journalist. Well, not yet anyway.
Ah, she's but a cub. So, you're hoping for your big break. Surely this must be worth an internship at one of the big papers. Do you want me to call Thompson at the Times and get it over with? I still play golf with him every once in a while.
That's not what this is about. It's personal.
Sounds serious. Perhaps I should ask Claude to produce his gun.
You know, Charles, the person most likely to be harmed by a gun tends to be its owner.
Very true. That's something the Japs who captured me learned the hard way.
Did my grandfather bail you out then too, or was that one of the few times where he didn't save your sorry ass?
Hold on there. Explain yourself.
You're willing to listen to something other than your own voice? I'm stunned. I'm Kathy Rain. Joseph was my grandfather.
Now I remember. You were at the funeral.
I was.
You were late.
I needed my morning smoke. Besides, it's not like Grandpa was going anywhere.
Oh, just look at her, Claude. She's absolutely fearless. That's Joseph's blood running through her veins.
She certainly has a smart mouth, sir.
I must say, you have me intrigued, Kathy. What can this old man help you with?
Do you know anything about what happened to my grandfather in 81?
I wish I did, Kathy. You must know I did everything in my power to help. How do you think Mary Elizabeth could afford all that expensive treatment? MRIs, neurologists, say what you will about Joseph, but he was never rich.
Strange. Grandma never mentioned that to me.
She's just too proud. At first she refused. She was convinced that I had an agenda, that there were strings attached.
And were there?
Don't be silly. Despite all that had happened, I still loved Joseph dearly. I wanted to help. People from places like this have a deeply rooted mistrust in the rich, passed on for generations. In her eyes, I had become one of them.
So that's all you know about the whole affair?
Are you implying that there's more to know? I left the diagnosis to the professionals. Mrs. Rain accepted the health care, but asked me to stay out of everything else. So I did.
I see. What can you tell me about your friendship with Grandpa?
Joseph was the best friend I ever had. We grew up together, married our high school sweethearts together, went to war together. I can't even begin to count the number of times he's saved my life. I repaid the favor once or twice, but he came up ahead, no doubt.
So, when did you two lose touch? I heard that something happened between you and him. What was it?
The truth is, Brian Rain happened. Sharon Evans happened.
My parents?
Yes. They ruined everything with their vile, destructive behavior. I couldn't have that around my daughter or my newborn grandson. Joseph was naive. He believed that anyone could be helped, that anyone could be reasoned with, given a chance. He was just too good, bless him. He should have been harder on Brian, more strict.
It's hardly Grandpa's fault. He did everything he could to set my father straight.
Oh, I never claimed to doubt Joseph's commitment, but I'm not going to ignore his flaws either. Your grandfather often used his heart when he should have used his head.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
I believe it is, objectively. But I shouldn't speak ill of the dead. Eventually, my company grew much too large for this little town, and we moved on. Not long after that, your grandfather ended up in that wheelchair. That marked the end of our friendship, for obvious reasons.
Do you recognize the call sign Cocky?
Would be strange if I didn't, since I was the one who coined it. It belongs to a fellow named Jimmy Cochran. He was a coward, really. The nickname is somewhat of a bad joke.
Perfect. Thanks. Tell me about Jimmy Cochran. Is he still alive?
In a literal sense. He's been held in a mental institution for years.
Let me guess. Since 81?
Either 82 or 83. I'm fairly certain it was early 83.
Do you remember the name of the institution?
Something starting with an E. Emerson, Everton, or similar.
Ingstrom? Ingstrom Psychiatric Hospital?
Yes, that's the one. You know the place, Kathy.
I do. My mother is in there. Sharon Evans? I had her committed about a year ago.
I see. It must have taken a lot of courage to do that, Kathy. Mothers have a lot of power over us, more than most of us care to admit.
I guess so. Do you know why Jimmy ended up in there?
Some obsessive-compulsive syndrome. He became fixated with circles and started hurting himself, trying to scratch the circles out of his head.
Creepy. I wonder what set him off. I think I'll check the place out tomorrow. Too late to head back to the city now. What can you tell me about the Church of the Holy Trinity?
They seem like any other church to me. But then again, I'm not their usual clientele. Weddings, baptisms, and funerals are just about what I can muster. And I always leave early.
You bought a number of paintings by Lily Myers. Why?
I'm known to dabble in art from time to time. Martha, my wife at the time, was enamored with the paintings. I believe she first saw them at the high school which the Myers girl attended. Anyway, after the poor girl killed herself, I bought the paintings speculatively. When a young artist with any talent to speak of commits suicide, it can be a wet dream of certain connoisseurs. Shortly after procuring the art, I had it valued by an expert who determined that the value was 3 times the amount I bought it for. Today, I'm sure I would have made my money back tenfold or more if it wasn't for the art theft.
What art theft?
There was a burglary at the mansion I used to own here in town. It was all over the local news at the time.
Well, shit.
Eloquently put.
Can you tell me about the art theft?
Well, somebody broke in, stole the paintings, and got out. Fairly clumsy job. Lots of broken windows. The strangest thing was that I had a Monet, a Rembrandt, and 2 paintings by Picasso, untouched. But every single painting by an unknown local artist, gone.
That can't be a coincidence.
Agreed. Somebody wanted those paintings badly.
I assume there was an investigation.
Yes, Sheriff Truman came by with his deputy a few hours later, but they didn't have much luck. They found a few hairs, which turned out to be from Ruffles, the family dog.
Some stunning police work right there.
Indeed. There was a single witness, though, who said he could make out multiple burglars leaving the scene of the crime, but nothing more than that.
So, I take it the case was closed?
Yes. I honestly didn't care much one way or the other, given the fact that my most expensive pieces were safe and sound.
I think I'll have a chat with the sheriff about the matter, if that's okay with you.
Certainly. I'll call ahead and instruct him to give you everything you need.
That'd be great. Thanks, Charles.
Anytime. But I'm curious, what's your interest in the paintings?
I've learned that my grandfather went to Sue and asked to see them, right before he had his injury.
Is that so? Strange.
Так, ну вот появился повод наведаться к шерифу, который наконец-то будет нам помогать.
I don't need to ask him about that.
Так, ну и предметы, наверное, покажем ему.
Do you recognize this, Charles?
Of course. Your grandfather, me, Jimmy Cochran, taken shortly before we went to the war.
You guys look like you just won the lottery or something.
Indeed. We were mere children, with no concept of what we were getting into.
Do you know what this key opens?
You must be truly desperate if you ask random people a question like that.
I don't need to show him that. What do you see in this picture, Charles?
Fireflies would be my best guess. They can grow terribly large around these parts.
I don't need to show him that. Do you know what this is?
A flower. Why don't you consult a botanist instead of bothering me with this nonsense?
Ну и как уже повелось.
I don't need to show him that.
Ладно. Про лопату нам ничего не скажет. Ну, все, короче, у нас есть некоторые новые зацепки.
Thanks, Charles. That's all I need for now.
You're welcome, Kathy. Come back anytime.
Just some boring landscape paintings. Just some boring... Looks like Wade brought some of his old tunes with him. A private phone. Wade must get special privileges here. That guy is huge. I wonder how many cows he eats per day.
Он говорит, сколько говядины он съедает, а в оригинале она говорит, интересно, сколько коров он съедает за день. Так, ну ладно, здесь мы все узнали, что хотели. Так, ну что же. Значит, ближайшая зацепка у шерифа. Так, а на следующий день она себе запланировала в психиатрическую клинику сгонять. То есть сейчас этого не будет пока что. В отделении полиции мы уже фактически нештатный сотрудник.
Uh-oh. I think it's time to switch to decaf.
Растение мы все-таки прикончили, сливая туда кофе.
That plant isn't looking so good. And it smells weirdly like coffee.
Must be a coffee plant. You're not made for this climate, you know.
Oh, of course. Duh.
Я первый раз это услышал. Они, оказывается, обсуждают, что у них с растением случилось. Шериф предполагает, что это, наверное, кофейное... Ну, короче, как оно там называется-то правильно? Кофейное растение.
Lenny.
Hey, Lenny.
Hello, Kathy. What's up?
Взяли так шерифа, перебили. У нас тут дела поважнее.
Nah, I don't want to ask him about that. Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is?
Not really, Kathy. Sorry.
Do you know anything about a weird bald guy dressed in red around here?
You're joking, right?
Oh, never mind. I don't want to show him that.
I don't know to show him that.
Hey, Lenny, do you recognize this flower?
Yeah, I accidentally inhaled pollen from one of them when I was a kid. I remember being sick and delirious for days.
Scary. Where did you come across this flower?
Somewhere in Conwell Woods. Not sure where exactly.
All right. Do you know what this is?
I have no idea. Looks creepy, whatever it is. Where did you get it?
Grandpa had it hidden away in the attic.
Probably for a good reason, then. Be careful out there.
Так, ладно.
Well, gotta go.
See ya.
Собственно, Уэйд звонил именно шерифу, а не его этому помощнику.
Hello, Sheriff. Mind if I ask you a few more questions?
If you must.
Ну, поехали.
Do you know anything about the art theft in the Wade estate?
Yes, Mr. Wade phoned ahead about that. Lenny!
Yes, boss?
Get the report from the burglary in the Wade estate back in '86?
On it, boss. There you go, Kathy.
Thanks, buddy.
Когда надо, можно гражданским раздавать полицейские отчеты. Просто так. Так, в имени Уэйдов сработала сигнализация в этот момент. В доме никого не было, поэтому соседи вызвали полицию. Полицейские, прибывшие на место, обнаружили несколько разбитых окон. Осмотр имения и прилегающих помещений не выявил никаких следов. Блин, да заткнитесь там. Дайте почитать. Хорошо, что в этой версии их приглушили, потому что в оригинале они прям в полную силу разговаривают прям на фоне. Так, единственный свидетель по имени Франклин Голдфарб. Угадайте, кто это. Сообщил, что видел, как несколько грабителей покинули место преступления. Чарльз Уэйт приехал в Коннелл-Спрингс, чтобы сделать официальное заявление. После осмотра дома он сообщил, что были украдены картины с оценочной стоимостью от $15 тысяч. Эти произведения искусства до сих пор не всплыли ни в каких кругах, известных кражами произведений искусства. Расследование прекращено из-за отсутствия улик. Окей. Ну,
I gotta find this Goldfarb guy. Maybe he knows more about the burglary.
мы будем у всех спрашивать теперь про него, кто это такой.
Hello, Kathy. What's up?
Ну, я, честно говоря, первый раз, когда услышал, я сразу понял, кто это.
Does the name Franklin Goldfarb mean anything to you?
Sounds familiar, but I can't place him.
Well, gotta go.
See ya.
Так, с шерифом надо, конечно, поболтать по поводу остальных тем.
Hello, Sheriff. Mind if I ask you a few more questions?
If you must.
Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is?
Nope.
Nope.
What's your opinion on the Church of the Holy Trinity?
It's a fine church. I go there myself every Sunday.
Do you know anything about a weird bald guy dressed in red around here?
What the hell are you talking about?
Never mind.
Реакции шерифа, конечно, топовые.
Does the name Franklin Goldfarb mean anything to you?
Never heard of him. Anything else?
Все.
That's all for now.
Good.
Польза полиции закончилась. Все хорошо в меру. Так, ну посмотрим, где мы еще не были. Да, по сути, везде были. Но если где-то зашли в тупик, надо просто заново все обходить. Соответственно, надо вот этого Фрэнклина найти. Потом, что еще надо? Что еще надо? Что еще? Ну, ладно, с бабулей пойдем пообщаемся еще разок. Ну, камон. Справочники.
Nah, nothing like that in here.
Да, про кражу тут явно ничего нет.
No result for that. Nope, couldn't find it. Nah, nothing like that in here.
Красный человек, да. Так и записан.
No Goldfarb in here. Maybe he moved? I should ask around and see if anyone knows him.
Вот хакеру Дэйву можно сейчас звякнуть?
I don't need to call him right now.
Ладно.
I don't need to call him right now.
Клайда тоже нельзя. Зачем их номера тут оставили? То есть теоретически можно еще как-то к ним обратиться будет? Или это просто так, пустышки? Ладно, раз мы возле телефона, надо и как бы исчерпать тоже диалоги. Понятно. Бесполезно. Больше всего с нами на авиабазе, как ни странно, поговорили.
No answer. Guess E is in class.
McConnell Air Force Base. How can I help you?
Hi. I was just wondering if you had time to answer a few questions.
Sure thing, ma'am. Ask away.
I don't see a reason to ask him about that.
Просто чтобы оно исключилось.
Do you know anything about a pilot named Jimmy Cochran? He was assigned to your base during World War II. Maybe even longer?
Hold on, let me check. Yes, Jimmy Cochran, fighter pilot born 1922, tour of duty in Japan from 41 to 42, honorably discharged for health reasons. Spent some time as a civilian pilot elsewhere in the U.S. until he returned to the flight academy here in the capacity of a teacher. Mr. Cochran was the major proponent of opening up the academy to civilian students. He continued teaching at this base until a sudden resignation in 1983 for unspecified reasons.
All right, thanks. I don't see a reason to ask him about that. I don't see a reason to ask him about that. I don't see a reason to ask him about that. All right, that's all.
Goodbye, ma'am.
Ладно. Телефон рассказал нам все, что мог. Идем к бабуле.
Oh, hello, dear.
There are a few things I need to ask you, Grandma.
Very well, dear.
I don't see a reason to ask her about that. Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is? He was a friend of Grandpa's.
I believe he teaches at the flight school these days.
I don't think so, at least not anymore. I was told he was placed in a mental facility.
Really? He always struck me as a kind man, maybe a bit nervous and on edge, but not crazy.
There's more. I found out that Jimmy asked Grandpa for help not long before Grandpa ended up in that wheelchair. Jimmy sounded really desperate. I'm sure what happened to Grandpa that night had something to do with his cry for help.
You should go find the man then. Surely he must know something.
That's the plan. I just wondered if there's anything else you think I should know about him.
Not really. We haven't stayed in touch since Joseph was injured. I know that he had a wife, Agatha, and a son, James. Agatha passed away from cancer years ago, but as far as I know, James still lives in the city with his family.
Okay, thanks, Grandma. I don't see a reason to ask her about that.
Видишь же, неудобно про красного человека спрашивать, видимо.
Does the name Franklin Goldfarb mean anything to you?
Oh, that poor man. He used to be an upstanding citizen, you know. Now he's constantly drinking and keeps babbling on about that imaginary acting career of his.
Sad thing. Do you know where I can find him?
He's homeless, dear. Lost his job a few years ago and never really got back on his feet.
Okay, now I know who you're talking about. Thanks, Grandma. Looks like I'm gonna have to have a chat with Goober.
Окей. Все-таки
See you later, Grams.
Take care, dear.
получили подтверждение, что это наш основной сотрудник, дающий нам инфу, самую достоверную, да. Так, ну куда мы еще скатаемся? Церковь снова. Все по второму разу объезжаем. Странно, я его ожидал здесь встретить. Ну ладно, с Айзеком тогда поговорим.
Hello, Isaac. I've got a few more questions for you.
I'm all ears, my child.
Do you know anything about an art theft at the Wade estate in the 80s?
I have just a vague memory of reading about it in the paper.
Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is?
I don't recognize that name, no.
Do you know who Franklin Goldfarb is?
I'm afraid not, my child.
Конечно, ничего не знает.
I don't need to show him that. That's all I need for now, Father.
May the Lord shine his light on you.
Ладно, нет так нет. Сгоняем еще куда-нибудь. Значит, не отправился еще от полученного шока.
I need a word, Miss Mendez.
Wait, how do you know my name?
It's written on that board behind you, genius.
You have the eyesight of a bald eagle or something?
What can I say? I'm a freak of nature. What happened to Goober, anyway?
Who?
The guy who had the seizure?
Oh, he ran off somewhere. Kept babbling about a religious near-death experience.
Okay, thanks.
Окей, сбежал. То есть... Таким образом он пришел в себя, просто потому что мы спросили о нем. Но он должен в церкви появиться. Определенно он должен тут появиться. Ага. Ну что ж.
Hello again, Goober.
You again? Are you stalking me, girl? You pop up everywhere I go. I'll try to tone down the charm, but I can't promise anything.
Huh, yeah, you're quite the charmer.
I know. I just said that, man.
Listen, I feel kind of bad about the electrocution.
Oh, that's what it was. What a cherry on top of my stellar performance.
Yeah, it was pretty convincing.
So what brings you to the house of God? Come to repent?
I'm afraid that ship has long since sailed, buddy. I had a few things I wanted to ask you about, though.
Shoot, Missy!
I should probably confront him directly about him being a witness. I don't need to ask him about that.
То есть ему прям полицейский отчет надо показать или назвать его реальное имя?
Your real name is Franklin Goldfarb, right?
Oh, nobody calls me that.
Regardless, I know for a fact that you were a witness to a burglary a few years back at the Wade estate.
Yeah, what about it?
Why don't you tell me what you saw exactly?
I heard the alarm go off, glass breaking, then I saw 3 guys running away, carrying a bunch of stuff.
What did they look like?
It was dark, I don't know, they were definitely 3 big, bulky guys. They
what?
Oh, nothing, that's it. Didn't see anything else.
Bullshit, spit it out.
Well, one of those guys dropped his ring when running away. I sort of pawned it.
A ring? What kind of ring?
Platinum with an inscription. 2 letters, B something. Man, I don't remember. My photographic memory stopped working in 1979.
Which pawn shop was that?
Pete's Pawning and Plumbing. It closed down a long time ago, though. Owner left town. There's a coffee shop back there now.
Too bad. Guess that's a dead end. Thanks anyway. Didn't I see 2 letters fitting that description recently? Not on a building. It was something small.
Я даже знаю, где я видела.
Did the inscription on the ring look anything like this?
Wow, actually exactly like that.
Я не помню, что это означает, но ладно.
Any idea what BH stands for?
BH.
Beehive? Bet high? Big head?
I already asked him about that.
Так, ну как-то продвинулись все-таки. Благодаря нашему корешу.
Wanna smoke, buddy?
Nah, I got stage 2 lung cancer.
Ну, ты нам сообщал уже. Ладно.
Okay, that's all for now.
See ya!
Что, неужели опять в полицию придется ехать?
Hello, Isaac. I've got a few more questions for you.
I'm all ears, my child.
Do you know what BH means? It's inscribed on this lighter.
I'm sorry, but no.
Ну, ладно.
Do you know what B?
I'm sorry.
То же самое. Ладно.
That's all I need for now, Father.
Теперь про это...
Shine his light on you.
Теперь про это будем у всех узнавать. Но в первую очередь надо в полицию, наверное, обращаться.
Hey, Lenny.
Hello, Kathy. What's up?
Do you recognize the acronym BH? It's on this lighter here.
Not really. Sorry.
Ну ладно.
Well, gotta go.
See ya.
Тогда у шерифа спросим. Раз уж мы тут.
Hello, Sheriff. Mind if I ask you a few more questions?
If you must.
Do you recognize the acronym BH? It's on this lighter here.
Don't you have anything better to do than to walk around asking people random questions?
Что верно, то верно.
That's all for now.
Outrage. Выбесим в конце концов окончательно. Ладно, не знает, так не знает. По-моему, когда бабуля это должна знать. Если я правильно помню, то нам даже локация новая откроется в этот день.
Oh, hello, dear.
There are a few things I need to ask you, Grandma.
Very well, dear.
Тяжело без мобильников жить. Чтобы задать вопросы, нужно ко всем ездить.
Do you recognize the acronym BH? It's on Dad's lighter.
Yes, dear, it means the Black Hats. They're those ruffians on motorcycles whom your father associated with.
Oh, his biker gang. That makes sense. What can you tell me about the Black Hats?
I refuse to talk about those hoodlums. They turned your father into a horrible person. You should stay far away from them, Kathy. They're awful people, just awful.
Well, gotta go, Grams. Talk to you later.
Bye, Kathy.
Окей, раз бабуля запрещает с ними общаться, значит, нам нужно с ними пообщаться. Я сомневаюсь, конечно, что у них там прям телефон их штаб-квартиры есть, справочники, но как знать.
Nope, couldn't find it.
Блин, это походу опять нам в полицию придется ехать. Нам спалит их местонахождение. Бабуля потому что не хочет рассказывать.
Hey, Lenny.
Hello, Kathy. What's up?
What can you tell me about the Black Hats?
They've caused us trouble from time to time, but they've been kind of quiet lately. We put a few of their captains in the slammer over the years, but we never managed to find enough dirt on their leader. Bo Brunson. Big Bo.
Do you know where I can find them?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just find a map.
Got it. Thanks. Well, gotta go.
See ya.
Ну, как бы, то, что хотели, мы узнали, но я просто не могу шерифа не позадалбывать вопросами. Я просто это обожаю делать.
Hello, Sheriff. Mind if I ask you a few more questions?
If you must.
What can you tell me about the Black Hats?
Why, you care to join? I'm sure they'd be real impressed by your big bike, but that's a man's club.
Let's just say I have a healthy curiosity.
I'd say your curiosity borders on mental illness. You have a death wish? Bikers don't mess around with little girls.
You gonna help me or not, Sheriff?
Not really. Go bother Lenny with it.
That's all for now.
Good.
Это стоило того, хорошо. Ну, поехали. Сейчас, конечно, будет еще целая тонна диалогов.
Sweet butt incoming!
Like hell I am. I'm nobody's property.
You sure? Doesn't she look like a sweet butt? I think she does.
Step off, creep.
Or what? You tell your daddy on me?
Скребать свои мозги от пола.
Or you'll be scraping your balls off the floor, you fucking pig.
Oh, I love it when they play hard to get.
Let go of me!
Где мой инвентарь? Я бы его поджег, на самом деле.
What the hell's going on out here?
Nothing, Prez. Just having a bit of fun with this gash here.
I suggest you leash that dog of yours.
For fuck's sake, Prospect, not again. Get the hell out of here.
Sorry, boss. I'll go.
He'll be disciplined for that.
He better be. I take it your beau?
I am. And who are you, darling?
Kathy Rain.
Bullshit. She lives in the city with her deranged mother. Who are you really? Did the Vandals send you?
No, they didn't. I am Kathy Rain.
Prove it then.
Well, I would, but I left my ID back home.
That's convenient. I think I've wasted enough time with you.
I need to figure out some proof.
Да, и зажигалками покажем.
This proof enough for you?
I'll be damned. That's Brian's lighter, all right. Sorry about the paranoia. We've had some problems with the Vandals lately.
I get it. Can't be too careful.
So, that's your ride out there. Corley Motors, right? 78?
76.
You got the same taste as your old man. He always rode Corleys.
Probably the only thing he and I have in common.
Did you set up those mods yourself? Looks custom made for your, small frame.
Yeah, took some time to get the measurements right.
I imagine so. Girls like you don't often ride heavy bikes.
I'm not most girls.
Ain't that the truth? Most girls don't just waltz into places like this either.
I guess you'd know. Anyway, I had some questions for you in the club.
Go ahead, then. Your old man was a good brother, so I'll indulge you for now.
Да, после таких отсылок Corley Motors прям хочется Full Throttle пройти. Но я его пройду обязательно. Тем более, что он небольшой, гораздо меньше, чем эта игра. Там буквально за один вечер можно весь пробежать.
Do you know anything about what happened to Joseph Rain in 1981?
No, we had our differences, me and him, but that's a horrible fate for a man. I'd rather be dead than a vegetable.
So I take it you and him didn't get along.
No, I could write a book about that man. On one page I'd praise him, on the next I'd want to smash his skull in. He could be a real self-righteous prick when he wanted to, that's for sure. But everyone knew he was the real law around here. Truman was a tool. I respected Joseph, and he respected me, but he hated how Brian looked up to me. Joseph always blamed the club for the path Brian chose in life, even though it was just due to him being a shitty father.
You seriously thought Grandpa was a bad parent?
Everybody knew about it. People just tend to forget the bad qualities of men in wheelchairs. Joseph wasn't a saint. He saw everything in black and white. He was only kind to whomever he considered to be good by his narrow moral standards. The ones who wouldn't fit in that small mold didn't get any chances. None whatsoever.
Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is?
No.
Do you know anything about Lily Myers?
Nothing that anyone else around here couldn't tell you.
Tell me, how long have you been the president of this club?
15 years now, give or take. VP for 10 before that.
Good. Then you can tell me why you stole Lily Myers' paintings from Charles Wade in '86.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but I'd recommend you be careful with wild accusations like that.
Fine. Is there anything I can do for the club to earn your trust?
You mean like cleaning the toilets? Making coffee? I think we got that covered, Cupcake.
Spare me your sexist bullshit. I can take care of business.
You're nothing like your old man, you know that?
I take that as a compliment.
You do that. In any case, I've had enough of this nonsense. Stop pushing your luck.
What can you tell me about the Church of the Holy Trinity?
Do I look like a pious man to you? I've peed on churches.
Нормально так. Стал я на эти церкви, да.
This may be a weird question, but have you ever met a bald man dressed in red?
I've made a few bald men red. That count?
What can you tell me about the Black Hats?
Black Hats MC was founded in the 60s by my old man, my uncle, and 2 other local bikers. Conwell Springs is the mother chapter, and we have support clubs in 6 other locations across 3 states. There's a total of 16 members here, 12 patch, 4 prospects. I'm the acting president of this chapter as well as of the whole club. Have been for more than 15 years.
The law give you any trouble?
It used to be tough when your granddad was around. He and Truman ran a tight ship.
And now?
Now they try, but Boyks and the boy are a nuisance at best.
I don't need to show him that. Do you know anything about this flower bow?
Do I look like a florist to you?
Yeah, a little bit.
You crack me up, girl.
Да, неплохо.
Do you know what this is?
Whoa.
What? Do you recognize that?
I saw one of those with my own eyes a few years ago.
Really? Where?
Middle of the woods, the road to the city. Those things came from nowhere and gave me this crazy headache right on the plate in my head. At the time, I thought it was just a nasty case of migraine.
You have a plate in your head?
Yeah, titanium from a shrapnel wound I got in Nam.
I see. Titanium isn't the least bit magnetic, is it?
How the hell should I know? I'm no scientist.
Do you remember where exactly on the road it happened?
No. Like I said, I dismissed it as a migraine. Didn't pay too much attention as to where I was.
Fair enough. I don't need to show him that. Hey, Bo, any idea of what this key opens?
You ask weird questions, you know that?
I don't need to show him that.
Так, ну похоже, что все.
Care to join me for a smoke, Bo?
Sorry, darling, I'm trying to quit.
Что никто не хочет с ней курить, кроме той тетки. Так, ладно, ну, поговорили обо всем, но нам как-то надо его доверие заполучить. Так что он не хочет нам рассказывать про кражу.
All right, I'm gonna hit the road.
Right on. I have some business to take care of, but make yourself at home.
Thanks, Bo. See you around.
Hey, Brian's girl.
Yeah?
I overheard you. I'm Emmett.
Hey.
The boss man isn't usually that grumpy. He's got a lot on his mind. But I think I may know of a way to loosen him up.
I'm all ears, buddy.
Well, Bo and Brian are the double Bs, as we used to call them. They used to have this drink together. Brian came up with it. He called it a Bloodier Mary.
Sounds like my kind of drink.
Yeah, it's basically a Bloody Mary, but with pig blood instead of tomato juice.
I take that back. Gross.
I'm kidding. It's just a Bloody Mary, but with a special ingredient added to it.
If you say that special ingredient is blood, I will literally punch you.
No, Brian refused to tell anyone what it was. He only made it for special occasions. It's probably something uncommon, like a rare herb or some kind of expensive spice.
So let me guess. If I can produce this drink for Bo, you think he would help me out?
It'll make him remember Brian, which should go a long way. He hasn't had that drink since your old man disappeared. Brian was like a son to him. The boss would have died for him back in the day. If you could recall the good times with your father, he might change his mind.
I guess it could be worth a try. But wait, why are you helping me?
You're Brian's kid. That means you're family. We take care of family.
Well, how was that drink compared with a regular Bloody Mary?
Tasted a bit more like pepper and had a punch to it. It usually gave some pretty nasty hangovers. Oh, if you had a lot of them, you'd hallucinate some crazy shit. Pretty wild.
Trippy. Thanks.
You're welcome, darling.
Так, а о чем с ним еще
Hey,
поговорить?
Emmett.
Yeah?
Remind me again. What's the difference between a
Понятно.
Bloodier Mary and a regular Bloody Mary?
Tasted a bit like pepper and had a lot more punch. Gave some pretty nasty hangovers. And if you drank a bunch of them, you'd hallucinate some crazy shit.
All right, thanks.
Anytime.
Это просто NPC-шник.
Hey, bartender, do you happen to know how to make a Bloodier Mary?
You mean a Bloody Mary?
No, this is something different.
Afraid not. I can make you regular Bloody Mary, though, if you want.
Maybe later. I need to figure something out.
All right, then.
Так, ладно, больше...
100% country music. Be still, my heart. Whew, out of order. My ears are safe.
Ладно, по крайней мере мы знаем, что это за особый ингредиент. И сейчас мы его достанем.
Sorry, endangered flower, but I really need to make a drink.
Белочка. Интересно, она именно в момент, когда цветок срываем, появляется или нет? Ладно, больше ничего. Все, залочили локацию. А он теперь на диванчике тут сидит.
Various pictures and mugshots of the club members. Some of them look pretty old. This club must have been around for a while. I'd like a Bloody Mary.
Coming right up.
Oh, and add this, will you? Just something I like for flavor. Put it in a blender.
Whatever you say. One Bloody Mary. Enjoy.
Thanks, buddy.
The club will cover that, Jose.
Sure thing, VP.
Thanks again, Emmett.
You got it.
Ну, погнали.
Hey, Bo. I've got something for you.
I recognize that smell. You found your dad's recipe.
Something like that.
Man, is this a trip down memory lane. I keep expecting Brian to walk in here any second. You know, all this nostalgia is making me remember how much I really owe your old man.
Yeah?
Yeah, so here's the deal. In '86, Carl, my VP at the time, came to me and said he had a job lined up for the club. Some guy had offered him good dough for stealing a bunch of paintings from a mansion. He needed 2 brothers for the job. I was busy with other things at the time, so I gave my permission as long as the club got the usual cut. He returned a week later with a nice wad of cash. I didn't realize it was Wade he had knocked off until I read the paper. If I had known that, I'd advised against it. Wade is a powerful man with friends in city council. There's no reason to piss him off.
Got it. So, what do you know about the guy who hired you for the job?
Not much. Carl said it was some bearded preacher.
Whoa, Isaac from the Church of the Holy Trinity?
Could be. I don't know who that is. It was a priest. I know that much.
Thanks, Bo. I'm gonna follow up on this right away.
That's it? You're not gonna ask me about what happened to your old man? Not even curious?
I couldn't give 2 shits about that asshole.
Bullshit. Don't expect anyone to believe you're that angry with someone you don't give 2 shits about.
Either he's dead or he abandoned me. Do any of those options look appealing to you?
They don't, but you should know that no one from the club had anything to do with it. I meant it when I said Brian was a good brother. He had no enemies here. Not then, and not now.
Comforting to hear, Mr. President.
Shut up and listen, girl. I'm trying to tell you something. Brian used to talk about heading to Mexico, about riding off into the sunset and getting away from all his newfound responsibilities. And I think part of him was serious. You deserve to know that there's a chance he's still out there somewhere.
Sure. Let's hope that bastard is living it up somewhere.
Just take care of yourself, you hear?
You too. That day went by fast. I think I'm gonna ask if I can stay the night at Grandma's.
Все, похоже, закончили день. Я думаю, что мы сейчас будем заканчивать уже почти, сколько, 1:40. Следующий день мы прям не затащим до 20 минут.
Hello, sweetheart.
Hey, Grandma, it got kinda late. Would it be okay if I stay the night?
Of course, dear. Have a seat. I'll make you something to eat.
Oh, you're the best. I'm starving.
Do you see? You are bound to her, and she to you. The separation is an open wound, a tear that can only be cauterized in agony. For our God is a consuming fire.
Дичь. В окне.
Lily's painting, burning, and the kid from the cemetery. It's gotta mean something.
Жесть. Ну что ж, это получается день 4 начинается. Ладно. Заканчиваем тогда на сегодня. Я думаю, в следующий раз уже будем проходить прям до финала. Все, спасибо всем, кто заглянул. До новых встреч. Может быть, завтра вечером, но пока не знаю.